All right, sending a dog out of a social situation is more important than we ever thought. That's why we started doing it a lot recently. Um, we need to be able to at any time, like if I'm talking to Julie, to somebody, I need to at any time be able to turn to her, point a finger, and tell her to out, and which means she's going to go a good distance away. She's going to relax and wait for me. Which means she's not part of. She's accepted. She's not part of this anymore. That's useful. That's useful in just everyday practicability. It's practical, right? But it's also useful when you're doing these situations with your dogs where you want to teach them what to do and what not to do. So if I come up on a stranger, and this is a setup, so that means I got a friend and I say, bring your dog over, we're going to pretend it's the real deal, and we're going to run into each other, and I'm going to teach her what to do when we walk by each other and all that stuff. And I still want to be able to have a conversation because that's cool, but I'm not going to make it all about the dogs, right? If my dog starts doing something that I don't like, whining or getting huffy and puffy, I'm going to turn around and say, go. This is why this isn't done in real life first. We're doing setups. It feels like real life to the dogs, but it's setups. This is all for the mind. It's not practical out on the streets if there's a road right there and people coming and going. But this is for her mind, right? So when you go to send your dog away, especially if they haven't been through training, in that moment where you say, go, get out of here, or out, or whatever you're saying, notice how difficult it is for you to get that dog to leave your side. And then also take note that that is a red flag as to why everything's going to shit. It's one of a few pieces, but it's a big piece. It's a relationship thing. It's an understanding thing. It's a social, it's an understanding of what's appropriate socially, right? Just these mechanics of now you can be in this event or the situation, and now I need you to leave the situation. It's a foundational thing that needs to be taken care of when they're young, but by the time they become adults and they don't have that, you tell a dog to leave and it gets closer to you. It's like, what do you mean leave? I don't understand that concept at all. It's me and you. It's me, you and me. You bring me to the resources. The resources are mine. You are the way that I get everything. What do you mean? What do you mean leave you? They don't want to go over there. Whether they're insecure or not, they don't want to go over there and lay down and wait for you. But that's what they need to learn to do to mature. They can't be babies forever. Otherwise, they're babies forever. And that looks like what they look like on the leash when they're jumping on people and hi, 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 hi. Oh, sorry, they're just excited. Oh, how old are they? 7 and 5. They're still jumping on people, you know? The next level of maturity is like, go relax and wait for the adults to get done speaking, right? Okay, so she's sent away. She does not understand that concept. That's a good 50% of why she struggles. She wants to alert to the world and be dominant, but underneath she really needs her human. And in order to get her to be less insecure, and also to understand our relationship doesn't work that way. When I tell you to go, you do. So it's multi-levered levels of benefits here. We do the send away and they have to wait and watch the situation. Now from here, I can work her. From here, if she whines, I can correct her. If she comes close, that's the wrong thing. You know, maybe you should down and relax. I could tell her to down, right? And I can also tell her she's a good girl, and I can also release her to come over and then be a part of it again until she makes an error, or until I just feel like I want to practice the mechanics, and I tell her to go again, out. And it gets smooth to the point where the dog will kind of follow the direction of your finger. So if I'm pointing in that direction, they'll go in the direction you're pointing in. Not if I point in that direction, they go in that, you know. But in the beginning, dogs who are older, who haven't, you know, because when they're young, they're easier to teach these things to some degree, I would say. They're less set in their ways. A dog that gets here as an adult, they say, I already know the world. And who the fuck are you? That's what they say. So you got that to deal with before you can actually open up the brain to teach it. The attitude, right? They're like, it's worked for me this far. Okay. So, Letty. Break. Good
Yay!
girl. She's
Good
part
girl.
of it. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, hello, good girl.
Good
And let her hang out
girl.
for a minute. Hello, you did good, very nice. This is hard for them to learn, but once they learn it, it's so good for them.
Hi.
And you'll see what I mean as the weeks go on. About a week from now, you're going to see a dog who's smoother with everything, but also more stable in the brain. Yeah, her opportunities are, the behavioral choices are smaller. So like lunging and barking and doing all this stuff aren't on the table anymore. So you get a dog who's not. It doesn't have a million options, so it's just right here with you. And it likes it because it gets pet. It can go try those other things, but it's going to get corrected. And once it knows that that's the fact with the owners too, then you get a dog who respects you and trusts you, which equals a dog listening to you, which means you can say no when they stop, and you can say do when they do, and that's all you need to get through, okay? Alright, so we're gonna try it again. That's good, not terrible. Nice work, honey. Not terrible, not terrible. For her second time now doing that. Third, I did one up at the picnic table, but this is her first session doing this, and this is what happens. All of them are like, either they know what you're saying and they're like, I don't want to, or they have no idea because no one's ever told them to leave something. They're always telling them to come here. Or effectively getting, actually, maybe they have been told to go, but they never fell through where the dog actually does. And so that in this moment, they're like, this is foreign. It's foreign to be told to leave you. Humans just want me to them. And I'm holding her accountable to leave me. That's like I can't imagine. It blows their minds. So I can now hold them accountable to come to me, to leave, and to stay somewhere. That's like ultimate. And we also get state of mind. And we're also gonna get a tight heel and all the fancy shit. But the foundation is you stay, you come, right? And then I also think on the foundation, you go. All right? You leave this situation, it's not for you. All right, and we need to practice these by making up situations that we know our dog's gonna struggle in, that are safe for them to explore, to learn the mechanics of these types of movements of our bodies. When I say go, this is what it means to do. We need to focus on that before they become adults.